is this? It says Bank of Boston, but I don't know. Maybe it still is, and that's just not the entrance used. No idea what that is. We tried to get through on the telephone this morning, but 4 times it was busy using, I think, 3 or 4 different numbers that he had for Argentina Airlines. But this is their facility in downtown Buenos Aires, and you take a number, and my number is 47, and that's my terminal. So I've got a little ways to wait, and then Puesto is the counter, and it looks like there are 15, 16, 17 counters available, and all these people behind me sitting here patiently waiting for the opportunity to buy a ticket from Argentina Airlines. More interesting architecture. Looks old. I'm at the intersection of Diagonal Norte and Floridia. We look back down the Norte, or the Diagonal. Notice the dome up there for whatever that is. Another huge dome. Very much in the design of the Greek with the frieze, the columns. Even if it does look rather new. And it's right across the street from the park that I was at for the concert last night. And there's the Casa Rosada. And I'm off to the right this time, instead of wandering down there to pick up Valcarce, I'll go down here for some reason. Again, a building under restoration, it looks like. Adios, amigo. This is Bolivar Street, and very pretty. Large church I was just in, but I did not want to video it without permission. I may be an agnostic, but I'm not disrespectful intentionally.
Hey, Papa!
Colegio Nacional de Buenos Aires. Impressive enough. Love metal work. A barricade between apartments. Belgrano and Bolivar intersection. This is an older building and the one next to it that are in pretty much a state of disrepair. But yet they have the potential, I think, to look pretty nice. What it'll take to justify the effort is a good question. Already, believe it or not, the area is starting to look a little more intimate, which is what it does by the time it hits deeper into San Telmo. It's for sale. Looks quite interesting if you could restore it. You had a use for it. Interesting detail, it's a series of dragons. Four sets of 2 opposing each other. And this is defensive that I walked up yesterday to that park up there. Parque Gregorio, Plaza de Gregorio or something like that. I think these are like the Brinks trucks. I'm just wandering on a diagonal toward Congreso, Plaza de Congreso. Just thought this was an interesting little view down this small street. Some kind of restaurant. Nice, interesting kind of work on the front there. Building that's lost most of its vestige. Here they're redoing the street. Apparently they're setting up several streets to redo. Maybe it's gutted for a new building, who knows? Belgrano is one of the major cross streets in the San Telmo, San Nicolas area. Bernardo de Irigoyen Avenida, and it's crossing Belgrano, which goes left and right. Some of the old pictures that I saw in one of the books that Facu has of Brazil, or of Buenos Aires, show many of these large areas that are now pretty little parklets like this as huge parking areas. What an intelligent decision that was to alter that policy and go for mini parks instead. So much makes it so much more beautiful. So less, 1984. This is Avenida 9 de Julio. That's interesting. The road must have changed names in the last block. I would have thought that I was on the street Cervantes, but I don't think so. But this is Don Quixote, a representation of him. You can only assume with the various names alluding to Don Quixote, like Quijote Pizza and Cafe, that this is the street, so I walked down that for a while. The noise, the energy of the city is interesting. Whether it seems very, very loud to me because I don't spend much time in cities or not, I don't know. Buses are diesel and be very, very smoky. A few murals around. There's one. Almost looks like a church in itself. And many towns are very pathetic people. This man, don't know what his story is. But he's carrying this ladder around. He looks drunk or else physically infirm. Got water, blood streaming down the right side of his face. Both he and his ladder just kind of wander from side to side. He's leaning up against the side of the wall there for some kind of support. It was interesting, a few minutes ago I got approached by what turned out to be a prostitute. It was a woman dressed normally who acted like she was my old friend. I didn't really recognize her. She didn't speak any English, but she talked me into having some cafe. At first I was not going to do it, And then I decided, oh, what the hell? So I went into this cafe with her, nice place, and I had ordered my bottled water. She wanted alcohol for me, and she had coffee. And through her words, a few choice ones, ones that were pretty much starting to define a peso and hotel, and where was my hotel. I pretty much gathered she wanted me to go back to her hotel, and I told her I had no interest. She told me she had the difficulty of living in Argentina and raising her 2 children. The final point being, in my mind, is that while I empathize with the tragic and the difficult and the lives that some people live in this world, I don't take responsibility for it. Call me cold, if you will. I have no intention of bit by bit trying to decrease the level of poverty or starvation or anything else, although I will, for my own personal satisfaction, help people who I choose to help